Well, it's cracking people. Angelic Mayhem here. Welcome to another video in my Anno online series. And today, I want to talk to you about long roads and large marketplaces. So, first up, let's talk about long roads. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, in any city building game, you have to ask yourself, is there a penalty for having long roads? Alright, now let's talk about another game real quick. Let's talk about SimCity. And as some of you probably know, was at one time a very big SimCity fan. And I played a lot of that game. And if you think about SimCity, you can actually build incredibly long roads, and it's a huge benefit to you. Because the problem in SimCity that results in traffic is gridlock. Okay, when you create a grid-based system for your city, your cars will jam together, and that creates traffic jams. Okay, and hence that's why we call it grid lock. It's because it's the grid system that locks you down. All right. If you were to create a SimCity city, which was just one long big road that winded through the entire place, what you would see is that the people would fly down the road. They would never stop until they got to the first house that they came to that wasn't filled, and then they would enter it. So there would never be a traffic jam in your city if you just had one big long road. Now, that's a little bit different than what we have here, simply because the people in Anno Online are just people. All right, they're these little dudes, and they're just wandering around. So there's no chance of them getting gridlocked. So you could theoretically put up a grid system. There would be no penalty for that, except that every road takes up a little piece of grid. All right, just a 1x1 square. Now, if you have cross streets everywhere, you're taking up a lot of 1x1 squares, and over time, those squares will begin to add up to a huge, huge area that you have failed to build houses on or anything productive, because you just have these what are aesthetically pleasing roads. They serve no purpose. In this game, there is zero penalty for forcing people to walk all the way to the end of this road and then all the way back. These roads are mostly symbolic, except that they connect your infrastructure to your people structures. So it's all right to have long roads, and I would encourage you to build long roads everywhere, so that you can maximize the amount of space that your little island uses up. So here's what I've done with my island. Up here, because this is such a jagged terrain, these are mostly, they're basically squares. And then I continue that pattern down to here, because down here, these are going to be my tree areas. So I have my lumberjack hut set up here. But over here, this is a fantastic spot to have long roads. All right, so that's what I did. I made real nice long roads, and then I plopped houses 2x2 with a road on each side. So as you can see, let me move one of these. Each house is a 3x3 square. That makes it 6 grids wide. And then I just did it as long as was possible until I got to a place where I didn't want to build anymore because I need those trees. So anyway, that's about long roads. Now, as you can see here in this particular neighborhood, I have a large marketplace. Now, marketplaces come in 3 different sizes, large, medium, and small. The small ones, in my opinion, are the most useful. They get a good size sphere of influence, okay, and they only take up a tiny amount of space. Now, technically, as you can see here, there's like a 2x2 small marketplace, right? And I don't know why that just grabbed that like that. Here, come here. There. So I stuck him in this little 3x3 cube, which would normally be filled by a house because it's a perfect spot to cover the surrounding neighborhood. All right. So I have a small marketplace here, a medium marketplace here, and you can see the sphere is a little bit bigger. And then there's this large marketplace here. Now, what are the benefits and what are the drawbacks? Well, when you have a large marketplace, all right, the actual cost of the marketplace, and let me pull this up. When we have, I'm sorry, I did that wrong. All right. So this is 1.7K and 15 wood. All right. This one is 13K. All right. And 35 wood, and then it needs a little bit of stone. And then down here, this one, 95K. All right. Now, I can cover this area in small marketplaces. All right. If I took a bunch of these tiny ones and put them strategically around the area, I could fill this area. All right. It would not be a problem. And it would be definitely cheaper. Okay. Because at 1.7K, that's nothing. That's chump change in terms of gold. And wood, my wood grows back very quickly because I have all this tree set up here. So really, it would take nothing to do the small marketplaces. The only reason why I have this large marketplace at all is because there's an achievement that goes with it, so I decided to plop one. And I don't just want to wipe it out. Since it's there, I might as well use it. But as you can see, this thing is humongous. All right, it's 8 by 8, which is an odd size to be sure. And you have to kind of fit it into your neighborhood. Otherwise, you're just wasting. Like if I had had it out here on the edge, the sphere of influence would be out here in the ocean. And it would be, a wasted space. So you kind of have to have it in the middle here, which is going to disrupt your road system and things like that. I much prefer this system where even though I'm missing what would be 5 little squares, I'm not interfering with the building structure that's around it. This one up here just happens to fit perfectly in that spot. And because everything is so tight here, I did one marketplace, and I knew, that would be wasted space anyway if I just had a house there. So I figured, well, I might as well use the medium there because it just fits perfectly. And because I have the other piece of the island over here, I can set up a couple of houses along here as well. So that happens to be one instance where the medium marketplace works out. So there you go. That's a look at long roads and large marketplaces. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please subscribe to my YouTube channel for more content like this in the future. I'm Angelic Mayhem, and I will see you next time.